Hello everyone, welcome to Storytime with Beulah Vic. I am Beulah Vic. Kindly subscribe to this channel and click on the notification button in order to get notified every time a new episode drops. The title of our story is Consola, written by yours truly. It is about a teenage girl navigating through life, love, spirituality, and academics. Chapter 1. She kept staring at the dancing guy. She wondered how he found it so easy to dance with all his might. She loved his steps. She had no idea who he was, only that she had been seeing him for a while. Her eyes were rolling to and fro in church as usual. She sighted her favorite couple in their matching attire. She smiled to herself. She prays every day to have a similar marriage. She wished she could be married to the wife's cousin who has been her crush from secondary school. Her mind flashed to is her first crush. How she cared so much about him. Normally she has a thing for cute guys, but she liked him beyond that. They were contemporaries and obviously not the only one who had a crush on him. Why won't they? He's cute, talented, brilliant, and intelligent. What hairs does he need to possess? Even though she had liked this guy from when she first saw him, she never showed it. Even though she had liked this guy from when she first saw him, she never showed it. In fact, she acts like they are sworn enemies. When her friends talk about him, she looks for a way to change the subject. Deep down, she's jealous they are talking about him. Fast forward to her final year in high school, her favorite couple were to be married. She had always adored them. She never knew they were related to me. What a small world, she thought. It was at this point that the fire was ignited. She kept seeing him in her thoughts. Now she wants to be his friend at all costs, but she had no idea where he was. They all separated after secondary school, yet her hopes were high. They would see soon. He would come visiting his cousin. He would come to church one day. Alright, quick reminder, click on the subscription button. We move. Richard's admission into the State University was a testimony. He had stayed at home for a year because he was denied admission. His uncle, who works as a lecturer, sent for him the following year and made him attend the school where he worked. On just a trial, he got admitted. He was so excited. Richard is the first child of 4. He has a younger sister and 2 brothers. He's particularly close to his mom more than others. His father had died 5 years before. On the night preceding his departure, his mother called him into her room. They had a heart-to-heart conversation. Rich, I know you're excited about going to school, she started. Yes, ma. My son, I want you to always remember the son of whom you are. Remember who you are and where you came from. Hold on to the faith that I have passed on to you. Never forget you are a role model. Make your father proud in his grave. Remember how much I have labored on you and your siblings. Make God and your academics a priority. Yes, ma. Thank you, mommy, he responded. I promise to remember all you have told me. I will always make you proud. Please, don't stop praying for me. Definitely, my son. I will always pray for you. So, how is your journey going to be tomorrow? When are you leaving? She asked. I will be leaving as early as 5 a.m. So, will you visit my brother before heading to the campus? Yes, ma, I will. The last time I called him, he said I could stay with him till I secure an accommodation on campus. That's interesting. You know you can always meet your uncle for anything you may need. Yes, I know. Still, I can't bother him so much. That's true, but don't act like someone who has no family when you have one. I have packed some foodstuff and other things you may need. You can go and check in case you need something else. I've been able to gather some money for you. Whatever else I'm able to raise, I'll send to you. Thank you, ma, he prostrated. Yes, I am aware your school fees has a deadline. I pray I raise the money before the deadline. Amen. Richard's mother is a civil servant who is also into trading as a side hustle. She does thrift contributions as well. Richard is the one who stands in gap for their late father. Now that he's off to school, he wonders how his siblings would cope. Rich thought about many things that night. He could not sleep soundly. He kept wondering what to expect in the university. Richard grew up under strong religious influence, powered by his mom. He follows his mom to church right from childhood. Throughout secondary school, he was devoted. His journey has not been very smooth, yet he knew God has something big for him. The next morning, his mother woke him up as early as 4 a.m. to pray for him. She encouraged him to live a godly life. When he was set for the journey, he woke his siblings up to say goodbye. They clung to him, missing him already. He was strong enough not to break down. After much persuasion, they let him go. His mother followed him to the park to ensure all goes well. When the bus got full, he gave his mother a hug. Few minutes into the journey, he burst into tears. Another reminder for you to click on the notification button. The next character I'll be introducing is Inyoluwa. Inyoluwa, as fondly called by his mother, is the last child of 3 boys. He's naturally a jovial person, is friendly and calm. One could say he has a bit of sanguine temperament. He has an aura that makes people around him like him. He is averagely tall, dark, and quite good looking. He loves to sing and dance. His parents are strong Christians. They observe their quiet time personally by 5 a.m., then proceed to the family altar by 6 a.m. Right from childhood, his parents inculcated prayer and fasting into his life. They taught him the importance of tithing and major Christian tenets. He has been in the choir from the age of 7. He has been actively involved in church, which reflected in his school. He was made a chapel prefect. Even though he has this background, he still had his fair share of teenage blues. As a boy, he was loved wherever he went to. Explains why many of his female classmates crushed on him in his high school days. Growing up was not automatically easy for him, despite his parents' influence. He had to battle with things he could not discuss with his parents. After his high school, he got admitted into pedigree. His parents did not want him to spend an extra year without admission. So while he prepares for another UTME, he was going forward with pedigree. He had gotten less than the cut-off mark to study his choice of course, engineering. In his 17 years, irrespective of his struggles as a teenager, he desired a balanced spiritual life. He wanted his relationship with God to go beyond casual, yet he had so many distractions. All these were constantly on his mind. They were on his mind this particular night till he slept. His phone rang, waking him. He checked the time. It was 1:30 a.m. He was not surprised. He believed it was one of his friends who loved night calls. On picking the call, he heard a female voice. The next character I'm going to introduce after you have subscribed to this YouTube channel and clicked the notification button is Oladotun. This girl is so young but sings so well, Dotun thought as he watches Consola lead a teens choir. Dotun loves to listen to the teens choir only when Consola sings. He remembered the first time he spoke to her. It was at a vigil. He didn't know how to approach her due to the age difference between them. She was standing at the back of the church avoiding sleep. He signaled to her to come outside. She yielded. "Do you have tissue paper?" he asked, clueless on how to start the conversation. "No," she replied. "Okay, thank you." When he realized he was about to lose it, he added, "My name is Oladotun. What is your name?" "Consola. Onye Consola," she replied. "Wow, nice name. Thank you so much. I will see you later." When she left, he knew he didn't approach her rightly. He did not even get her phone number. He wanted to call her back, but she had gone back to her seat inside the church. Dotun knew he had lost the opportunity. He sought another, which he got not long after. It was at another vigil. They had a vigil once in a month. She was standing at the usual place. He saw a young boy by her side. He sent him to call her. I'm sorry for disturbing you again. No problem. I would like to know you better. Can I have your phone number? Sure. Call it. She did. Thank you so much. Dotun was very excited about this. He couldn't wait to call her. She's so beautiful and talented, he thought. She's also very young and innocent. Dotun knew he likes her already. Fast forward to the present. Looking at her sing again brought smiles to his face. He knew this girl would be great. She might be young, but he would wait for her. They were on good terms already anyway. Dotun is a student of the State University. He worships at the Campus Fellowship of the Triumphant Church, TTC. But there are times they had combined service at the headquarter church in town. It was during one of those services he met Consola, the calm, beautiful, and talented girl. He likes her. Not very sure about love yet, but their friendship would blossom, he was sure. He wouldn't push anything to her just yet. Dotun is a drummer and a lover of music. He grew up in church. His father is a pastor. He's not particularly religious, but he had the fear of God in him. He's fervent in service in church. Emphasis on service in church. Back to Onyekonsola. Onyekonsola knew that one way or the other she would meet Enyi again. She didn't know how soon though. Back to Onyekonsola. Onyekonsola knew that one way or the other she would meet Enyi again. She didn't know how soon though. She was just scrolling down her newsfeed on Facebook one day. Suddenly, it occurred to her to search for Enyi. They could connect. Onyekonsola is the second child of a family of 3. She has an elder brother and a younger brother, apparently the only girl. Her father died when she was 6 years old. She didn't get so close to him. He was sick most of the time he spent with Consola. She always had this buoyant feeling of no father figure in her life. After her secondary school education, a year before, she found out how lonely she was. Her friends had either gained admission or relocated. She had written WAEC the previous year but failed a compulsory subject. She had to rewrite. Consola first met Enyi at a children's camp when she was 10 years old. It's so funny she has been attracted to him ever since. They met again in secondary school. That was where the crush developed. Amusingly, wherever she gets to, somebody is always an acquaintance of Enyi. At the tutorial class she attends, she met his mates from primary school. Even though she has not seen him for a while, she felt really connected to him. On this day, she decided to connect with Enyi on Facebook. Her intention was for him to notice her for once. She searched for him, caught him, sent a request. In no time, he accepted. He accepted few days later. She was over the moon, like a girl who got a ring. She took a step further, copied his number. She will put a call through, they will be friends. Hello? Hello, are you sleeping? Yes, who is this? And he was pissed. Who calls you by 1:30 a.m. and asks if you are sleeping? He felt like giving a savage response like, no, I'm not sleeping, I'm washing clothes. But he held himself back. My name is Oladele Onyekonsola, but you can call me Consola, the voice continued. I'm sorry to wake you up. Okay, Consola, what can I do for you? I'm sorry to disturb you, but I got your number from Facebook and I really want to be your friend. He thought. Another crush. Alright, he responded. Consola continued the conversation for about 5 minutes. She kept on asking questions she already has answers to, just to keep the conversation going. When she got frustrated, she ended the call. He interrupted the call with a very loud hiss, wondering who on earth the girl was to disturb his precious sleep. He has enough on his plate already. He does not want to get involved in girls' issues anymore. As he could no longer sleep, he thought to look up the mystery girl on Facebook. What does she even look like? He typed her name. It popped up. Wow, he almost screamed. I know this girl. She was in the hat. Oh, she was in the hat. Almost for me. Like she doesn't like seeing me. Why didn't she mention we were in the same school? Why does she suddenly want to be friends? Another call came in. This time Bukumi is the caller. Bukumi used to be his girlfriend while in secondary school. It ended when his parents found out. He was reprimanded, made to fast and ask for God's forgiveness because according to them, he has committed a grave sin by having a girlfriend. He fasted quite alright and promised to be a good boy. He broke up with Bukumi, but Bukumi refused to break up with him. She kept stalking him. And he does not particularly like her. He just wanted to be called somebody's boyfriend, like his friends. But now he really does not want to date anymore. He had promised his parents. He's in the process of finding God. He rejected a call, switched off his phone, and slept. Meanwhile, Consola is in another side of town, wondering why Enyi was so cold to her. She made up excuses for him. He really wanted to sleep. I disturbed him. He's not feeling too well. She thought about the possibility of him knowing her. He would search her out on Facebook eventually. He accepted her Facebook request. Does that mean he didn't even check her profile? He just accepted requests without checking profile. Till he finds out, she would keep pretending it was a Facebook thing. Back then, they never spoke to each other. They were contemporaries but in different classes. She remembered the times they met outside school. She gives him the kind of look that makes it seem like they had a quarrel in her past life. Why was she like that to him? She likes him, but was pretending like she doesn't. She smiled to herself. Back to Richard. Richard arrived at his uncle's house, received a warm welcome from the family. The house was beautiful, painted turquoise blue and white. He was served a plate of pounded yam and egusi soup, exactly the way he likes it. He enjoyed himself. When he was done, his mind wandered to his family. What lies ahead? School fees and academics. He started getting worried. Then he heard a whisper, "Be still and know that I am God." He looked around. He was alone in the guest room. He knows what it is. He has been hearing it lately and he tagged it "Whispers of Hope." God is speaking to him. Richard started hearing those whispers after his WAEC. He could not understand. After telling his pastors, he was introduced to a whole lot of Bible studies and prayers. He began to understand the concepts of the Holy Ghost and the gift of God in his life. Richard has since been growing spiritually. When he starts to worry about anything, he hears these comforting whispers. While still in thoughts, his cousin came in. Peter just got admitted into high school with a boarding facility. He was ready to bombard his big cousin with 1,000,001 questions. He met him unpacking books from his bag. "Why do you have so many books? You have not even resumed. Are they your school books?" Richard smiled. I love to read. These are not academic books, but motivational, inspirational, and spiritual books. Wow, you must be a good reader. Peter bends to pick up one of them. "I want to be like you." "You are going to be who God wants you to be." "I know, but I want to be a good reader like you." "Don't worry. Anytime you want to read any of my books, you can always inform me. I will lend them to you." "That will be during the holidays because I'm going to school soon." "Uncle, I have questions for you." "Go ahead." "How did you cope in your secondary school, far away from your mommy and your daddy?" "I've never been away from them." "Well, you will miss them at first, but I'm sure you will get over it. You'll make new friends and have fun." "Are you seniors or press juniors?" "That is not a big deal. You'll also be a senior one day." "Did you ever punish your junior?" Richard laughed. "I was a very friendly senior, but sometimes your junior needs to fear you." There was a knock on the door. It was Mirabel, the second child of the three. "Mommy said I should call you for evening devotion." They went for the devotion. We have come to the end of chapter 1. If you have not subscribed, kindly do so now and click the notification button. A wise man once said, "It doesn't bite." See you next time.